Welcome, Hornets, to another Game Hoarder adventure. I'm proud to present to you Avernum 2, Crystal Souls. Let's enjoy the epic intro music before you launch into another 60-hour epic fucking game. Boom shakalaka. Alright folks, we had a lot of fun with Avernum 1. We're going to have a lot of the same folks on board with this epic adventure. I know Mr. Jennings is about to ride the train with us, give us a lot of helpful insight. Dark Elf Mage Guy, him too. I'm super excited about this sequel. I've had a lot of fun with the first game. Probably one of the better indie RPGs I've played in a long fucking time. We're going to be joining the same party. Let's get started with a new game. We're just going to take this. I've already built our party. One thing that is new is you can now take Sliths and Nephils into the campaign with you, and they do have different advantages and disadvantages. However, I'm going to go ahead and stick with our original party just because that's the way I roll. Sliths, they get a pretty nice bonus with pole weapons. I believe they get some kind of berserk advantages. What else? Nephils, I think, are better with rogue type abilities. But anyways, I didn't really look too deep into it because I wanted to take our same party through the entire series. So I'm going to try to stay as true to the Lug, Trog, Clot, Ronstock party as we can. But just to get the intro going, we'll go ahead and just select the quick start party. We're going to be playing on normal difficulty again. And here we go. Avernum is the underworld. It is a series of hundreds of miles of caves far below the surface of the world. The land is kept alive and fruitful by powerful magic and the heat and energy of natural steam vents and hot springs. Avernum is also a nation. It's a land of people exiled from the surface world. The surface is ruled by the Empire, an all-powerful nation who disposed of unwanted people by banishing them to Avernum. They formed a new nation, far from the eyes of the Empire. Some, however, were not satisfied with safety and peace. They wished vengeance. They sent a band of assassins to slay Hawthorne, cruel emperor of the Empire. The Empire was stunned. They realized there was a den of vipers threatening their sole control of the globe. They had no other possible response. They invaded. The power of the Empire completely dwarfed that of the Avernites, but it had a great difficulty teleporting troops to the underworld. The Empire arrogantly thought that Avernum could be subdued with a few hundred elite troops. Avernum also had the advantage of familiarity. They were used to living and fighting in the caves. The Empire wasn't. The Empire soldiers were fought to a bloody standstill. The Empire sent more troops down, but the Avernites kept them at bay. The Empire grew frustrated and angry, and then it turned to terror and atrocity, and slowly it ground away at Avernum's defenses. Little by little, cave by cave, the invaders won victories against Avernum. Then, when things looked like they couldn't get any worse, a new disaster occurred. Magical barriers appeared all over Avernum, splitting it into small sections and blocking all roads. Nobody knew who made these barriers. Maybe the Empire, maybe not. Just as the barriers appeared, you arrived at your first posting. You have just joined the army of Avernum, eager to join the good fight. Your dreams of heroism were short-lived. You were sent to Fort Ganrick, a tiny, unfinished outpost in the far northeast corner of Avernum. You dream of great victories, of deeds that turn the tide and save your homeland. Instead, you reported to Captain Vidican and were put to work digging out storerooms. Fort Ganrick isn't ready for warfare yet. Each morning, you wake up in a damp cave, looking forward to a long day of shovels and picks. It's hard to imagine anything that could happen, which would enable you to strike a mighty blow against the Empire. Poison is dangerous. Acid is worse. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and load our party here. Our familiar characters, welcome back. Let's go ahead and move everything back to where we had it in the original game. Same with our map. We're doing our good old full screen. And we're welcoming back Mr. Luglug. Everyone's reset, of course. Completely unknown. Level 1. I'm going to follow the same attributes, magic, and traits that I kind of did in the first game. I don't see why. There are going to be a few differences. There's a few changes that I haven't really looked too deep into yet, just because we're level 1 and it doesn't matter. But anyways, this is our starting character for Luglug. We've got a couple into hardiness, melee weapons, same with Trog. Clot, we threw down on some priests and some arcane lore. Ronstock, of course, and mage spells and arcane lore, just so we can read those initial books. And I went ahead and gave everyone nimble fingers again as the starting trait, just so that we have the ability to open early locked doors and get that early experience, early cash. And that's another thing we're going to go for, is getting that negotiate. Wherever the fuck it is. Negotiator. Just so we can get that extra money. Alright, so here we are back in the world of Avernum. We know a lot more than we did when we started the last game. This is the same enhanced engine that was remade from the original Exile series and then into the Avernum series and then into this rehashed engine of Avernum. So this is the third rendition again. If you missed that part of how I explained it in the first Avernum game, the first 3 of this trilogy are going to be the third renditions, and then we will be actually hearkening back to the first edition as opposed to second edition Avernum for part 4, 5, and 6. I don't know if Spiderweb is planning on redoing 4, 5, and 6, maybe, but right now they are redoing all of the Geneforge games, and they just got done kickstarting part 2, so that's a 5-part series. That's going to take them quite a while. I don't know that I'm going to wait around 5, 6, 7 years for them to finish. But yeah, so let's keep things going. You stumble groggily out of the cave that has been your unwilling home for several weeks. Your muscles are still sore from yesterday's digging. You've been working on these storage tunnels for weeks. You notice that the gate to the north is closed. Most Avernites have learned to resist claustrophobia, but seeing your lone route to the exit closed off makes you nervous. You can see Maxine on the other side. Maybe she knows what is happening. Before you proceed farther, however, you should protect your head with a helmet. 2 crude helms of thick lizard skin wait for you on the table nearby. You should take advantage of them before you move on. So I did a little bit of research on this. There are definite advantages to particular min-max parties. Again, I wanted to keep the same party, even though obviously the assassins that killed Hawthorne in the first game is not these characters. This is supposed to be a different group of characters. But I don't know. I like the continuity of keeping characters throughout my games because I grow attached to them, and I like the heroes. So let's just think of this as the descendants of Lug Lug, Trog, Clot, and Ronstock, and these are the juniors. This is Lug Lug Junior. So, yeah. Here's Maxine. You look through the gate and see Maxine hard at work. She's a skilled stoneworker. Sent into Avernum not long before the Empire invaded. Her scan still shows a tiny remnant of color from being in the sun. She's behind the closed gate, fixing stone blocks in the frame with mortar. She nods and smiles when she sees you. Sorry, trapped you in there. Won't be long. At least you can dig uninterrupted.
Huh? Tell me more about yourself.
She laughs. I'm not a big soldier like you, just another unfortunate who said the wrong thing, got the wrong man angry, and was sent down here.
What did you say to get sent down here?
She frowns and suddenly becomes distracted by her bucket of mortar. And Avernum asking how you got sent into the underworld is poor manners.
Why'd you come out to Fort Ganrick?
I had to help out somewhere, and I had skills to use. This fort needs to be finished. Once I was down here, your war against the Empire became my war.
What's happening with this gate?
I just needed it closed for a few minutes to place this frame. Won't be long.
Ah! Can't stand being trapped in here. Let me out!
Maxine smiles. Oh, give me a minute. This won't be long. Don't you have a hole to dig? She returns to her work. Alright, so they want us to go through this door. You start to open the door, but the cracks in the ceiling make you nervous. You decide it would be better to get and wear a helmet before you proceed. Notice we have this marker on the ground. This was not present in the first game. Kind of shows us exactly where our cursor is at. And again, we can hit G to search the ground. So we're going to find a couple helmets here. And we are no longer decked out like we were in Avernum 1. We are equipped with crude daggers and leather armor. Back to basics. The lizard skin helm is crude and dirty, but it would keep falling stones from cracking your precious dome piece. You look with regret at the door to the south. It's time to start digging.
Huh?
Shovels and pickaxes. We might need all this shit. Okay, again, it looks like they took away the carrying versus encumbered issue. But we will probably need pickaxes to dig, so... You enter the room you spent several weeks expanding. Your worn tools weighed on the floor, promising exhausting hours of chipping away at one of Avernum's unending walls. However, things do not go as planned. As you enter the cave, the ground shakes under your feet, slightly at first, then harder. It doesn't feel like this is one of Avernum's many cave quakes. No, this is more local. And then you hear cracking stone, and a cloud of dust pours out of the passage to the south. Then you hear the chattering of shrill voices. Something has dug its way into your fort. You're about to enter combat mode. Once the battle has begun, to attack an enemy, select the space it's standing in. You also get tips about spells and abilities and other shit.
Huh? Who wants to challenge Mighty Lug Lug?
Alright, we don't need to look at the tutorial. We're pretty well versed in the game, so we're just gonna get into fucking shit up. You can see the icons do look a little bit different. A little bit of a... I don't know if you'd call it a visual upgrade. Maybe. There's some color up in here now. So, yeah. Goblins are perpetual pests in the underworld, simple-minded, violent, enthusiastic breeders. They like to fuck a lot. It's far from the first time you've had to fight them. However, they are very disorganized. It looks like they've been working on digging this little tunnel for weeks. Goblins never engage in such sustained projects unless someone much more powerful forces them. You suddenly have a very bad feeling. You need to walk out into the main fort and let them know what's happening.
Mushrooms! Here you go, Trog.
Thank you. Alright, we're going to keep our personalities from the original game, of course. Trog is going to collect mushrooms and light fixtures, especially lamps. I like lamp. And of course, we are looking for little small buttons on the wall. Unsurprisingly, the dead goblins were not the only threat. The sound of battle echoes from the north. Happily, Maxine managed to get the gate open, so you can reach the carnage that much more quickly. Something terrible is happening. As you approach the gate, a wall to the east collapses. A goblin head timidly pokes out of the wreckage, looking for victims. When he sees you, he ducks back and calls gleefully to his fellows. Let's go ahead and get our shit all set up here. Alright, let's get it on. Level 1, bitches. This large storeroom is large. It's a natural cave. It's so natural. You discover while digging passages in the rock beyond the fort. Finding it was a huge relief. It saved you a lot of work. The passage down to the rest of the fort is to the north. Good time to save your game. Maxine's dropped her tools and is wandering around dazed, not sure what the fuck is going on. You remember that she isn't a soldier, just a stonemason trapped in a terrible place. She looks at you. What? What's happening? Are we being attacked?
It's just goblins, not a problem.
But I heard more fighting. Toward the exit. It can't just be goblins, can it?
Maybe the Empire has come for us at last.
What? The Empire already? It can't be. We're not ready.
You should probably stay here.
All right, that seems safest. But what if more of them come out of the tunnel? I don't know what to do.
She crouches and buries her face in her hands.
Uglug will protect you.
Alright, I don't know. I'd find it ironic if there was another shovel pick fucking quest, but there might be. You hear shouting and running to the north, and then two Avernite soldiers run into the storage room in panic. They are new arrivals like you, green enough to be terrified of the goblins that are chasing you.
Huh? Give me a mushroom.
I mean, we can only assume we're going to need bags of meal. No, I already know how to use items. I don't need that, but whatever. How to fight. Yeah, we kind of know how to do that too. We'll go ahead and follow the same scheme we did in the last game. Lug will be the spear chucker, and Trog will be the bowman. That group heal, though. We'll give those to Clot for now. Until she actually gets group heal. Oh. Some chainmail right off the bat, we'll take it. The stairs down to the rest of Fort Ganrick are to the south, but they are guarded. You see the foes waiting to ambush you and immediately realize who is behind the assault. The goblins here are led by a Nephilim warrior. The Nephilim are a race of fierce, clannish, feline warriors. The Empire has slaughtered most of their numbers, sending a few survivors down to Avernum. Of late, the Avernites have made peace with some of their clan, but others remain determined to get revenge on humanity. This large hunter snarls and hisses when he sees you.
It is luck. Human prey for Avernum of the Fang clan. Easy prey.
Where are you from?
A mighty castle in the caves. Humans here neglected too long. Now Fang clan is strong and we're ready to take the lands.
You remember hearing the other soldiers passing on rumors of Nephilim sightings to the east. Maybe those should have been taken more seriously.
You think I'm easy prey? I'm mighty fucking lug.
Warriors of this fort are dregs. They run when we come. We hunt all of you. Take your fort for our own. First victory of Fang clan.
How about this? Leave now and you can live.
Avernum bares his teeth and lets out a long hiss.
Flee at our moment of triumph, never.
He leaps ahead of the goblins, eager to claim his prey.
Mighty lug fuck you up. Uh-oh. Get him, Trog. You might want to stop missing. It's not a good look. This guy keeps throwing toothpicks at me.
Avernum falls to the ground dead. He is far from the first to fatally underestimate the warriors of Avernum. You open the leather satchel hanging from his belt. Inside it you find 2 scrolls. One of them is inscribed with magical runes. The other looks like a map. Interesting. You set the map aside, hoping to read it when the chaos has died down.
Get him, rat!
The door to the east is held shut by a padlock. That explains why the goblins haven't looted it yet. If you pick the lock, you might be able to take advantage of Fort Ganrick's limited supplies. Tool use determines what doors you can open. Each lock and trap has a difficulty number. If the total tool use in your party is at least as high as the difficulty, you can bypass it. Well, we took nimble fingers with everybody, so hopefully we have tool use 4. Not only that, we got some fucking pants to wear. Radiate ice. This is a crude Nephilim map of the nearby caves. It seems to show a castle in a cavern not far to the north of it. The word Gath has been scrawled along the top.
Huh?
It's so fun starting off from scratch. I love just being like a little weak-ass bitch and slowly but surely finding all kinds of groovy shit again. All right, we have the tool use needed. We're gonna get a crude short sword and some herbs to upgrade our weapon. 11 to 44 versus 10 to 30. Damage is damage. Nothing significant, but we'll take it. At last, you found a path down to Fort Ganrick. The sounds of battle are still audible ahead, and you cannot tell whether the humans or Nephilim are winning. You take a moment to rest, and then when you're ready, your weapons, perhaps a few additional swords on the Avernum side, can turn the tide of battle. You run out into the main body of Fort Ganrick. Sure enough, the Nephilim have found a way to infiltrate the fort and attack. 2 of them are to the west, sneaking behind the barracks. When they see you that you've spotted them, they charge. In the courtyard to the south, you can see guards fighting over other Nephilim. Happily, it appears that your team is getting the best of the invaders.
Huh?
A rank smell emanates from the narrow space beyond the guest quarters. This is where the fort piles its trash before it gets burnt or thrown over the wall.
Smells like Bigfoot's dick.
An eerie quiet falls over the fort. All of the Nephilim goblin attacks have fallen. The soldiers look at each other, clearly shaken. After months of fearing an attack by the Empire, a humanoid raid was the last thing they were expecting. You realize that Captain Vidican will want a rapid report about the state of things in the caves above. Perhaps she'll even find a job for you more fulfilling than manning a shovel.
Fucking hope so. But if she needs a shovel, I got 3.
A scrawny man wearing the plain robes of an apprentice mage is reclining on the bed. He seems to have a headache. I'm Ian. Who are you? He looks you over. Oh, so just go away.
What are you doing back here?
Go away. I have a fucking headache. You got any Benadryl?
Are you aware the fort was just being attacked?
He presses the heels of his hands into his eyes.
What? Is that what the sound was? Well, the attack's over. Leave me alone. You know magic. Do you know how to bring down the magical barriers? Of course not. If I did, I wouldn't be stuck here. I saw them appear. They blocked the passage just south of where I camped. A little further south, and I would have died in my sleep. I have no idea what to do about them.
He stops speaking. The act of speech is making his headache much worse.
What's wrong with the soldiers?
You're here to help against the Nephilim, right? I thought so. Well, go run off and do something. There's a good chap. My head hurts.
You got a headache?
Yes, from my journey. Wake me if we get attacked.
Perhaps you should be defending this fort a bit more aggressively.
He's getting angry.
Look, I've had a hard trip, and I shouldn't be here anyways. I'm supposed to help in the attack, and I will. Until then, leave me the fuck alone.
Journey? Huh? From where?
From the tower.
What tower? The babe with the power? What power? The power of the babe? I saw my baby crying hard as babe could cry.
He moans angrily and grips his head tightly in his hands.
From the Tower of Magi. Perhaps you've heard of it. A place where Magi can learn and grow and gain power without having to fight kitties and sliths and whatever. It's far to the south. Too far. Now will you please go the fuck away?
He rolls over on the bed and grumbles at you obscenely.
Sliths? Yes. Slitherikai, the lizard people. You haven't forgotten them, have you? There's still some around here, the nasty kind, as vicious as ever.
Finally tired of you, he shuts his eyes tightly and pretends to sleep. Oh shit, we can get away with some thievery. Oh yeah, stealing shit.
I like lamp.
I like lamp too. Give me lamp. On the north wall of the storeroom, you notice that one of the bricks looks discolored. It also sticks out of the wall further than its neighbors. Odd. Teaching us about secret bricks.
Meet me.
Return to life scroll looks a little bit different nowadays. This section of the wall slid away. Beyond it is a small, dusty tunnel. It looks like they started to build an extra wing of the fort, and then abandoned it. A few extra supplies were stuck back here and forgotten. There are Nephilim tracks in the dust. This must be how some of the invaders got in. Got the 15 versus the 12, but this is minus 10. Yeah, still better. The thing that sucks about this is they're fucking with our to hit very early in the game, and we don't really have a whole lot to counter that at this point. You meet a harried, balding man sorting through account ledgers on his desk. He doesn't want to slow down his work to talk to you.
I'm Gridley, he mutters. I don't have time to chat.
What's your job here, Gridley?
I'm the quartermaster of Fort Ganrick, and I need help.
Since you give out supplies, you could give me shit, right?
Oh, you need things, do you? Ask Cecil, the captain, about supplies. She'll tell you what you can have. It won't be much.
What's the quartermaster do?
I keep track of supplies. Well, that's supposed to be my job, but I also cook and clean and hold the soldiers' hands and wipe their asses and try to get everything in shape before we get attacked.
Tell me about Fort Ganrick.
Lovely, isn't it? Put together in a hurry, staffed even faster. We keep asking Fort Draco for help, but they have their own fucking problems. We do the best we can.
What do you ask for Fort Draco?
We need more help than anything. More people, more supplies. As things are, we can't hold up under a serious attack. We keep asking Fort Draco for supplies, but the Empire has them so scared they won't spare anything to fight the Nephilim. You passed Fort Draco when you first traveled to this fort. It's just a little way to the south. He thinks, say, if you're ever there, could you tell Commander Anford that we're desperately short of javelins? I would love to hear his latest excuse for why he hasn't sent any to us for weeks.
So we just got the Fort Draco message quest. Those of you familiar with Avernum, we will start building up questicles left and right. Let's try to trade with them.
You mean you want to actually replace the precious good you take away? Well, there's a first for everything. I'm happy to barter for whatever you scavenge on the battlefield.
So we can go ahead and sell some initial stuff with this fine. We're not going to be to level 8 to get Negotiator any time soon, so we do need to get a little bit of early monies. So we'll go ahead and sell what we've picked up so far. And we're not going to buy anything. But he's good to get a little bit of early coinage from.
Bandages!
Oh, there's got to be another bag of meal quest here. Interesting. Won't let me take that. Maybe it's because I'm straight up in this guy's sight. I don't know why. It's very interesting. You can't take this item, it isn't yours, and the owner would see you. Wow. Okay. So it actually blocks you from getting in trouble. See that down here? That's interesting. Don't think that happened in the last game. They'd let you steal it and you'd get in lots of trouble. See, they're not letting me take anything. So maybe you have to have a certain steal skill at this point? I don't know. Tool school, two-use skill is not high enough, so that's a 5er already. So one thing about this game is that apparently one of the pedestals you need to read a level 3 book requires one character to have a tool use of 8 themselves. So I guess in order to get that, we're going to want to dump tool use into one character. So we're going to need to pick a character to kind of be our tool use character, whereas in the first game we could distribute that amongst all 4. So yeah, that's something to think about. The flip side of that is we don't really have to get to level 3 of that spell, I guess. We got our good old questicle logs here, special items. Everything's pretty much the same. We have our newly adapted map. Here you can see the invaded territory is now cut off in the northwestern section. I do like how it keeps a lot of the same shit that we're used to. We got Silvar, Fort Dunfo, all the same places that we're accustomed to. Because, you know, you can't change it. Tower of Magi down here, so it's super cool that it's the same map, but now things have changed as far as territory. The invaders have kind of taken over the Abyss, Barga, Fort Spire. So yeah, it's going to get interesting. We need to fight back. Got our battle disciplines. Of course, we're going to be working toward good old adrenaline rush once again to help us manhandle this game. And we want to remember to come back there when we get some tool use. Probably in level 2, we'll pump somebody up with tool use 1. I don't think there's anywhere else to go there for now. The Nephilim raiders put real fear into the soldiers here. They talk about nothing but the enemy fort to the east and their inability to send a proper force to attack it. One of them says, "Oh, the captain wants to see you." The captain's already seen me. It's Captain Vidican. Yeah, I guess we do need to talk to her. The small woman wears the insignia of the captain, not to mention 2 long, vicious-looking rapiers. She grants you a sharp, short bow. "I know you, though we haven't met. Storeroom details, yes?"
I was building storerooms, yeah. Good place for me.
She looks you over.
"No, when you came here, you had promise. Time to see if you can live up to it. I'm Cecil Vidican, Captain Vidican to you. I think we'll have to give you more productive work than we have so far."
Doing what?
"You were sent to us as a potential scout or raider. This is, as it happens, exactly what we need right now. Let's talk. You've been in the upper caves too long. I'll tell you what we need from you. Outside, you can hear the guards open the iron front gates. You're now free to leave the fort."
What would you like me to do?
"Before the Empire attacked, this was a peaceful mining area. Then the Fang clan Nephilim snuck up here, wiped out the miners, and got established. We were told to hold them until we could root them out. But that's no longer enough. The Nephilim have built a crude fort to the east and grown belligerent and numerous. We need you to help weaken them. It's a small threat compared to the Empire, so I shouldn't need to send more than you.
Are you sure they want to attack again?
Yes, they've made the raids in the past, but nothing like this newest raid. Small sorties we can handle, but we're not ready for a pitched battle yet. She thinks, if we do get attacked, we'll need your help. Be sure to use the armory.
I found this map on one of the raiders.
She looks it over. Looks like the area around their fort. All right. Looks like it's showing a tunnel to the north of it. And Gath, interesting. We haven't been able to send a scout to the tunnels north of Nephilim Fortress. Perhaps you should investigate.
You really think I'm strong enough to destroy the fortress?
I don't know. Everything we do now is an act of desperation. You might be able to get some help in Fort Draco, not far from the southwest. Go there and speak with Commander Anford. You might find a good way to use your skills. We need everyone, even someone as inexperienced as you.
What can you tell me about the tribe?
They're only just getting settled in. They're trying to match our strength. We're ahead, but they're catching up and getting aggressive. Hopefully you can snuff them out before they attack again. Find and kill their chief. He's a nasty Nephilim. Do that, and that should blunt their spears enough for us to deal with him.
Describe the outpost.
The kiddies have established their lair to the east. We don't have the troops for a frontal assault, but we have high hopes that the small band can sneak in and do some damage to keep them off guard. The hard part's getting inside. She pats her blades. We have to do something before they attack again. We're ready, but not that ready.
Tell me about the gate.
The kiddies have a big trap gate in front of their lair. It'll be hell to get through without a huge force. We think they must have a back door in, but we don't know where it is.
Any other ways?
It's possible, even likely. These tunnels are honeycombed with old mines. If you explore the area around the Nephilim fort, who knows what you might find.
Has there been much Empire activity up here?
She grimaces. They haven't attacked up here much, but more than enough, let me tell you. The Nephilim only made things worse. Of course, their raids have slowed down now that the barriers are up.
Tell us about the barriers.
They appeared a few weeks ago, massive magical barriers that cut off our roads and split Avernum into many little pieces. At first we thought the Empire made them, however, it seems to stop the Empire soldiers too. Our wizards are working on it, that's all I know.
How goes the war against the Empire?
Badly. I don't know of specifics. Been out here for a while, but definitely badly. Surprise Nephilim raids don't help.
How are you recovering from the surprise attack?
Badly as fuck, but would manage. She shakes her head, disgusted with the whole situation. We found the cracked walls they were able to use to get in, and will be repaired soon. People are recovering from their wounds, and we'll get reinforcements as soon as we can.
What do you do here, besides look sexy?
I'm trying to help this folk get established. That's why you were sent here. There's a Nephilim outpost to the east, very hostile. Needs to be dealt with. Alright, so we have all kinds of questicles that just popped up. Slay the Nephilim chieftain. Destroy the magical barriers. Front fucking gate is open. At last you step out of Fort Ganrick. You're stuck doing brute labor no longer. At last your adventures can begin. Gotta check the outside of town. Yep. Got these hammers and shit. What if we need hammers for hammer quests? Hammer time. Look, goblins hanging outside the town. These little sneaky fucks. Little sneaky motherfuckers. Fuck you gonna miss? I feel like a little bitch.
You gotta be fucking dick fucking me, bro. Already getting my ass kicked. Yeah, we just gotta take this shaman out. They start summoning a bunch of bullshit. That's more like it. I'm like, do we need this shit this time around or do we not? You never fucking know. We got that secret passage. I know that way. Bloom, bloom, bloom. Alright, so the first thing we want to do, obviously, cloak curses. Keep those cloaks and blessings up. We're not going to get one until Ward of Thoughts. Looks like spells are a little different. Heal, I don't know, maybe. Sanctification Ritual, that's new. Blesses and cures your group outside of combat. Sanctifies nearby altars. Those are... Okay, so that's new. Move mountains is new, and combat make rocks fall on foes. Mage spells. Let's see what we got. This is all the same. Simulacrum is new. Summons a copy of a creature in your spirit prism. Captures soul. Freezes spirit of target creature, so we can capture and simulacrum certain monsters. And that looks like that's the only new spell there. This looks pretty familiar as far as the battle disciplines. Part 1, the barriers. So Avernum 2 is split up into 4 parts, I believe. And this is part 1. You step out of Fort Ganrick and into the winding remote tunnels of northeastern Avernum. This region has been cut off from the rest of your nation by massive magical barriers. Nobody knows who created the barriers or how to remove them. If nothing is done about them, Avernum will not survive. For now, your orders are to deal with the colony of rogue goblins and Nephilim to the east. In the meantime, you hope to find a way to remove the barriers. It seems unlikely, but at this point, hope is all that Avernum has. You find a scattering of ruined mining equipment, carved totems and bones. The debris is littered throughout the passages to the east. You must be getting near the land of the Nephilim tribe. You're almost to the new Nephil settlement. They've left a small group of guards outside. They're goblins, small, frail, craving creatures, about 8 of them. They see you immediately. They're a few hundred feet away. The miserable beasts clearly don't care to fight you. They watch you carefully, hoping that you just go away. But you don't. They regretfully pick up their crude weapons and move to attack. They're already resigned to quick, horrible deaths. Their fatalistic attention to duty in the face of overwhelming odds serves as an inspiration to us all. Fucking goober. The cave wall to the east is very uneven and jagged. The surface is interrupted by a number of cracks. It looks like some of the holes might be large enough to crawl through. You'll have to get close to see for sure. Sometimes when you stand next to a wall outdoors, you'll discover a concealed passage through it. It's the same as the first game. If you got this light green moss ferny shit, or if you have the yellow mushroom, there's going to be a secret passage there. We can leave that for now. You step gingerly through the piles of trash and shallow pools of filth. This tunnel serves dual purposes of the sewer and garbage pit for the Nephilim. You see many bones from a variety of sources. So this is going to take us to the Nephilim castle. Let's see where this goes. Hidden Nephilim cave. This is the back door entrance where we're not going to get slaughtered like fucking little bitches. But we also have another town here, it seems. You step out into a huge cavern. Crisscross will make you jump, 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 with rows of large, bloated, carefully tended mushrooms. The air is warm, moist, and scented with just a hint of sulfur. Not unusual for Avernum. The massive cavern is lovely in an austere sort of way. You can clearly see the green light cast by the glowing lichen on the ceiling. The lichen was created by the Tower of Magi years ago, using strange and powerful magic. It is the luminescent fungus that makes life in Avernum possible. To the southwest, you can see Fort Draco, the largest settlement in the area. Farther to the west, across the river, you see the faint glow of strange magic barriers, which everyone's so concerned. The enormous galleries is a successful farming area. Long, orderly rows of mushrooms surround you. Crude stone homes are visible among the smooth slopes and jagged stalagmites of the cave floor. Oh, re-exploring Avernum at its finest. Guston Homestead. We got all kinds of shit to explore, folks. There's a group of heavily armed humans approaching you. Their armor is worn and they look exhausted. Let's talk to them. You're soon close enough to see that they are soldiers of Avernum, patrolling the roads around Fort Draco. They've been worn down by constant skirmishes of goblins and bandits. After a brief exchange of pleasantries, they warn you to be careful and watch for foes. Then they depart. You feel worried. If all of Avernum's soldiers are this wary, the state is of great danger. You see a group of giant lizards. Brands mark them as property of one of the local farms, raised as beasts of burden or food. They are violent, irritable beasts, stupid and most unsuitable for domestication. Their teeth have, as usual, been filed down. Their claws look sharp. Though their claws do look sharp, some farmers are probably missing them. Let's round them up. A tiring hour of chasing, much shouting and hissing, and a number of nasty scratches later, the lizards clearly communicate their desire to continue on their way. Regretfully, you allow them to go. And we have the town of Fort Draco here as well. But we're going to go ahead and cut the camera here because it has been an hour, folks. Thank you for watching and returning with us back to Avernum. We are here in the second part of the 6-part series. Crystal Souls, welcome. Another good 60 hours awaits us of epicness soon to come. Thanks for watching.